it looks like we're done. There, it's done. Now, grip the jewel tightly and feel the new power that lies within it.
Alright, now before you get awakened, you will be required to complete the Awakening Saga. The discovering of new strength and the awakening of new strength. Alright, now you have to be mindful and save a lot of your feathers, because for the discovering of new strength, there's a lot here that would require you to do expeditions for, let's say, three times or two times. And then for the awakening of new saga, these are all mostly repeatable tasks. One will be 15 and the second is gonna be 25. Now you could just go ahead and break it even, like for the first day you're gonna do 10, and then the second day just do 5, stop at 5, go to talk to Oder, and then once he gives you the 25 repeatable tasks, you do the 5, and then the next day you do the 10, and the second day you do the 10, and that's finished. Because what usually happens is that when we do repeatable tasks, we tend to go AFK, so we complete the 10-10, right? So that's gonna take another day at your expense. So that's about it. So enjoy watching the video, as well as everything will be I will go ahead and also explain the potentials as well as the skills that are going to be acquired after getting awakened. Thank you so much. Now before you finish the saga, I will require you to submit the Jewel of Awakening. The Jewel of Awakening is this one. You will go ahead and have to craft it piece by piece. Now for the Ymir bones, so basically all of these are actually available and farmable. That's one good thing, as well as the bell. But the bell is the most expensive one here if you're trying to go ahead and get awakened faster. So the bell right now is approximately, well, 2,000 dias going up. Now you could, if you're lucky, you could go ahead and just go ahead and farm this at Fokpang. Now for Emir's Blood, the most common areas that you could get it is the canyon or inter-servers. Fokpang as well. There you go. And canyon, oof, the world tree depth. Silver ring, well, you get this whenever, so you could just go ahead and buy this one. This is probably the cheapest item amongst these ones. Now for the Emir's Bone, if you're unable to do AFK, don't want to go ahead and farm it, you could just go ahead and buy it off, but it's gonna be on Wimix. Now you could go ahead and opt it to diamonds if that's what you prefer. Right now it's at 9 dias if you're going to convert it, but you'll be required to get this or get this delivered so you can complete the awakening for your Legend of Ymir character. Have access to runes. You can collect them from Kingstone, I believe. Now every rune has an additional stat which could, you know, make your character stronger. Of course, the higher the value, the higher the power it's gonna give you. Like, it would be nice if you could get some rares or definitely epic. Alright, so let's take a look at the new skills. I bought them already earlier. Poem of Blessing, Song of Lunatic, and then the Vibrato. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out what the skills are for, okay? So basically, Poem of Blessing, it grants you immunity to status effects, okay? So the defensive bonuses, this is temporary. Skill damage defense 10% for 25 seconds. Reduces damage taken from enemy skills. Get knocked down, hit 3% for 10 seconds. Slightly improves your knockdown effectiveness. And then PvP weakened resistance, 3% for 15 seconds. So if you get that awakened effect, you get physical damage plus 30 and magic defense plus 30. If by any chance you get the awakened effect. So basically you use it when, before, or during heavy enemy pressure. If there's a Zerg. Basically this is good for PvPs. Against crowd control and debuffs, especially if you're facing, let's say, Berserkers, Volva, most of those, it's basically gonna keep you alive for PvP or tough fights. That's basically it. So, Poem of Blessing keeps you alive. That's it. Now, for the Song of Lunatic, this is a good one as well. So, the purpose of this is basically offensive and tempo control skills. It grants you immunity to status effects. Cannot apply frenzy while active though. Alright? Now for the frenzy state, it reduces the cooldown of your certain skills. Now for PvP damage taken, it will be plus 38%. So it's gonna make you vulnerable. So you deal faster but become much weaker defensively. Now the additional bonus though is that it gives you PvP knockdown resistance 15% for 10 seconds. It helps you avoid being controlled while being frenzied or while frenzied. Now, for the awakened effect, if you get to unlock it, it gives you mana recovery plus 40 for 10 seconds. Now, when is the best time to use it? You can use it during burst windows, when pushing damage or chaining skills. Though it's risky in PvP because it's going to increase your damage take. So make sure that you have tanks or at least Berserker in front of you if you're gonna do this so you can deal damage. All right. All right. So now we'll be discussing the new acquired potentials. You can go ahead and get this unlocked once you're awakened. All right. Now that being said, let me go ahead and briefly explain to you the difference with Freya's Persistence, Baldur's Tenacity, Will of Scatty. Okay, now for Freya's Persistence, it enhances PvP penetration defense and PvP bash damage defense. Now, it counters PvP penetration and bash damage. All right, that's basically it. And it works best against burst and penetration based PvP builds. Okay, now for Baldur's Tenacity, it enhances PvP defense and PvP damage defense. Basically boost overall PvP defense and damage reduction. Now it's best for consistent survivability in all PvP fights. It's for a very tanky build. All right. Now for the Will of Scatty, physical damage defense and magic damage defense. All right. Now, this reduces the physical and magic damage. Now, this is strong against high or burst damage. Think of this as your damage reduction. Now, for Will of Scatty, can be compared with Fate of Tyr, because Fate of Tyr enhances physical defense and magic defense as well, right? Now for the Fate of Tyr, though, it increases physical and magic damage defense stats. Now, it's better for sustained damage and long engagements. Now, that would be, think of it as a stat for strengthening. So basically, you get that tanky factor already. Unlike for Scaldi, it gives you the reduction for the damage you are taking. So that, right? And finally, you'd be able to access the new map, which actually requires Awakened. Alright, so you can go ahead and AFK here. Now, be able to have a chance to acquire one of the epic items. If you're lucky, you get more. And runes, you can farm runes here as well. As you can see, yeah. Amazing, right? So again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Now, don't forget to bookmark their page as well as send seeds if you can. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Overall, it's actually a good thing. Awakening is very OP because of the skills. It gives you an advantage with PvP. Right now, you can take advantage of that, especially on YMIR's Cup, as well as battle servers. This will definitely give you a lot of boost. Not only your character, but as well as your parties. So, alright, that'll be all. Thank you so much. Hope you get awakened soon, and see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good day.